Funsie. We are back. I'm back. We're back. Episode something. 20, 23 maybe.
It hasn't even been that many episodes, and I already forget what episodes are what at this point.
Yeah, that's okay. We're over half a year. Just kidding. So what up? How's everyone doing? If you're listening to this, how are you doing actually? I think that's important. We gotta check in on our fans and listeners. We appreciate if you're hearing my voice right now, we appreciate you listening. Leave a comment and tell us your what you're up to this weekend, because most likely you're from around here, I'm guessing, maybe some of you, and you might go to the MVP Open. So if you are going, make sure you say hi to me and Sajko, and we'd love to talk.
Hype levels are at a stupu-dupu level right now.
Are you going to be there? Go ahead. Keep going.
I originally wasn't going to go, truthfully. I saw what the ticket prices were, and this is for like the full quote-unquote experience. Not the one where you have to like contact them for this insane top-level like disc golf experience, just like be able to go wherever every single day. And I was like, this might be the first year I don't go.
How much?
I couldn't tell you. Hundreds, like definitely like hundreds and hundreds. Plus you also have to like pay for parking. Which for Worlds you did not that I'm hating. I mean, it's a great facility and they have limited space. They're just doing what they can do.
You guys are both planning on going though every day?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm vending
Thursday through Sunday.
I'm vending for the expo.
What do you even vend for that?
Just like flyers, let people know, like, hey, talk to people, just be like, hey, I'm having another expo, and then a lot of them say, oh, I went, that was awesome, and then it's kind of, and then I thank them, so it's like double-sided. One, it's promotion. One, it's just kind of like thanking the people who have attended, and just asking them how it was, I guess, like getting feedback on it. Are you gonna be there all 4 days, Sack?
I will. Yes, sir.
Tell us what you're doing.
I'm excited.
Tell us what you're doing.
So like I said, originally was not going to go, and then as the day approached, I was like, I've been going every year since 2020, since starting. So I'm like, this is gonna be the first year that I miss MVP Open. That kind of sounds like a bummer. But you know, when I went down to Worlds, I met some of the pros down there that we worked with. So Austin Turner, I shot him a message and I was like, feel free to tell me to, what's a polite way to say this? Go frick myself.
Off.
Heck off.
Yeah. And otherwise, like I could like caddy for you if you would like it, and I can do some content for another round and some content for you, like edit some stuff each day, whatnot. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. So I will be caddying for him all 4 rounds and just recording a bunch of stuff. I think even doing like a YouTube video, kind of like recording his round and whatnot. And yes, so that'll be that's what I'm up to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every pro gets 2 tickets per event. So
I did not know that.
Is that the case? Is that what you're using?
I don't think that's a thing at all.
Well,
Yeah,
I know it's a
I
thing
don't know what that
because it is a thing.
No. No, I'm just doing like Caddy. Like I believe Caddies get in for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. So it's like they get 2 passes per event. For Kevin Kiefer, if you guys know who Kevin Kiefer is.
Yeah, I saw him this morning. I should have said hi to him.
Nice enough to let me use his pass and my wife for the Austin Open and the Waco one. So we got in for free because of him.
I did not know that.
It's funny because like Texas swing is at the very beginning of the season, and then like the Northeast swing the very end of the season. So yeah, we have our 2 spots that are getting hit up right now. Ben, yeah. I'm sure we're going to get into a little bit, but were you originally planning on going to GMC, or was it the moment? Okay, because I saw when Gannon Buhr put up the post asking for a caddy, I didn't put 2 and 2 together until my father-in-law was like, I swear Ben is on the TV right now, but I can't quite tell.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, think that was you, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, basically I was going up regardless, and Gannon won a caddy. I texted him like, dude, I'll caddy for you, and it was awesome, and he ended up winning. So yeah, it was pretty sweet. I'm planning on caddying to him for MVP Open again, so hopefully we can keep that streak going.
No fun stories from that or anything interesting happen?
Yeah, you definitely need way more than what you just shared. You really brushed that one off.
So I don't know. Like I hung out with like Alden and Gannon and Silas and Gavin Babcock. They allowed me to stay in their Airbnb for one night. Because I had the Airbnb for me booked Friday through Sunday, so I just went up a day early to caddy for Gannon, so they let me stay, and it was really cool just hanging out with them. Me and Gannon after every round would go to the Burger Barn, get some maple creamies beforehand because they closed at 6:30, so we had to eat dessert before. Then we went to the Burger Barn, and I ate 8 burgers in the span of 4 days. After every round, stacking up on that protein. And yeah, it was just a fun time. It was really cool. Kind of just like seeing the pros up front and kind of like being on the other side of the rope with them. It's definitely such an insane viewing experience, caddy aside, where it's just like you don't even notice really the gallery ever, which like is crazy because it's such a big thing in Pro Tour events. Like when I'm always in the gallery, but when you're playing, it's like I didn't even notice the gallery the whole time. So that was like that was a weird thing that I noticed. Like, oh, like these guys like are just playing like it's just like an average everyday round of golf, and they're just keeping to themselves and not really realizing like there's like hundreds of people watching them, because I didn't even realize it at times because they're not looking back. So that was really cool. It was really cool to kind of see Gannon before the round and then after. So I was there for like his warming up and stuff like that, and see like how he got ready and kind of his whole routine. And then it was cool that he just was dialed off of T-Pad 1, and just his composure throughout the whole entire event was pretty spectacular. And just to see him just dominate and just hit these lines like it was the easiest thing in the world. That was like kind of like the craziest part to me. Like you can see it on Jomez, but seeing it in person where it's like he's making every hole look easy and doing exactly how it was designed and landing exactly where he wants to land and never messing up and hitting every putt. It was just like, bruh. I guess a cool story, now that I think of it, is when he shot 16, he had a potential to go perfect, which would have been amazing, but he was perfect through 7. We were talking about hole 8, whether to lay it up or not, because it's like a huge Anheuser kind of turnover flex shot that could go OB, and that was kind of like the thought process, like like I could go OB, but I'd have a par putt. And I said, lay it up, and you can get hole 12 for eagle. Well, he said that, but I reiterated, like, you can get hole 12 for eagle. So if you are perfect by then go for the eagle. So lay it. So he laid up 8, got 9, which he got 9 both rounds, which is such a, if 9 at Smuggler's Notch is, there's like a big rock in like circle 1 for some reason, and it's close to the like overlook, close to the pond. It's like where it's next, hole 5's basket is next to it, which is the one right next to the pond at Smuggler's Notch, where it's like a hyzer between trees and it's really tight. And then hole 6 is the easy ace, the easy kind of chip shot, like the easiest hole on tour. So if you can think about that area, it's like hole 9 is like near it with, I don't know how else to describe, but it's the giant rock, and it's pretty far, and it's lined with OB, and he got it both days. So okay, he gets 9. 10 is pretty easy. Like every pro should get 10. 11 is pretty easy if you're in the right position. It's just like a jump putt. So we got those, and then I was just like, all right, yeah, go for eagle. Let's do it. So he throws it. It kind of dies down. He's debating, like, should I go for eagle? Should I not? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I think you probably should go for it. And then he does the Bushnell and ranges it at 500 feet. He's like, it's only 500 feet. I was like, all right, then do it. Go for it. We need the perfect round. And he gets it to circle's edge. And then he misses the putt to get to perfect, which stunk. But he proceeded to birdie every single hole after that. Basically, about to shoot 17 down, hole 17, he just misses like a 20-footer, just like I don't even know. So I guess Alden's putt hit the basket, which as he was putting, which kind of like made him like kind of jump because he wasn't expecting it. So that was really cool to see how I basically like I witnessed history because it's the course record, but how I almost witnessed like he missed 2 in the circle putts to not go perfect. It wasn't like he like threw out of bounds or he was out of position one time. He just missed 2 in the circle putts, which is like out. I don't even know. It's just unfathomable to think about. But yeah, it was just really cool. My favorite part was just kind of just like just hanging out with all like going to Fall Fest, meeting other players, hanging out with them, and just like networking with them and talking to them, and getting to see some of my old buddies. Like we were on not old buddies, newer buddies, but like we were on a card with Joey Buckets for 2 rounds, which was really cool because he's one of my friends, so that was nice. We were on a card with Paul, which was super cool because Paul's relationship with Nick, who's on the show, and he came to my expo, so we have a sort of relationship. So it was cool to say hi to him, and then it was really cool to watch this Ricky kind of be Ricky. At the last round, he was storming back, and it seemed like there's a chance he could catch. There's not a huge chance, but there's a chance he could catch Gannon. And then he just, towards the end started falling. He didn't fall apart. He was just kind of falling off the pace, I guess, is more the way to put it, because he would have needed to get a lot of birdies, and Gannon would have needed to par, where they were just like he was just parring. And if Gannon's birding pretty much every other hole, and Ricky's birding, he can't really afford a par if he wants to catch up. So that was kind of cool to see, just live and in person, just like the I guess the Saki bomb, kind of what they talk about, how he comes from behind. Gannon always says like the scariest person to have behind him is Ricky. So there was a moment there where it was like sort of good, but then towards the end it was like, all right, like Gannon's got this pretty much locked up. And I think it was 16's putt that he made. It was like a 50-footer, where it was just like, all right, yeah, that sealed it. He had to like triple bogey or something like that. And 17 is like, it's a gimme for the tour. I mean, if you're even bogeying that hole, then you're just like skipping off the basket going to be, or having a crazy roll. It's not that difficult. But yeah, it was just super cool to just be a part of it.
I'll be honest,
that's my
I
story.
forgot that I was on a podcast because I was just listening. I feel like it was just like the Ben podcast. I was just listening to it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like on this thing.
Well, you guys told me to elaborate.
For
someone
For someone who didn't want to elaborate when the first question was asked, that is the longest monologue I've ever heard after someone was hesitant to talk initially.
I wasn't
And I was
hesitant
gonna
to talk.
say,
It was just like
That
I was
was
just gonna
cool.
be like, yeah, it was cool, and then you guys want to elaborate. I think it was a cool
Yeah, of
thing.
course.
It was just it's a podcast. I was just trying to come up with more materials for you to tell you guys. I mean, like,
Dude, you're the most popular caddy in all of Vermont right now. So that's kind of a big deal.
um, yeah. So there you
Yeah,
go.
dude, you're a
There's my
networking
details.
phenom.
Well,
Like truly.
oh, or I'll
Who
try
the
my
heck
tongue at the
goes
same
right
time.
now? My goodness.
Jim
Yeah,
Miller.
so yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Please. For the love of God.
I had like a span of 8 questions over that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, ask them.
So Ben, what do you think you contributed? Like, was he asking you for caddy advice every hole, or was it more of just you were carrying the bag and he was playing his game?
Dude, you stole my question. We were asking the same question.
Dude, so I did give him some advice, like that going for that eagle. I think it was a mutual advice thing. It's not like I was like, he wasn't like, bro, I need to go for the birdie. I'm like, and I was like, eagle. It was more like we were just mulling it over. But it was more, and then like I said, laying it up. It was more so reassurance, where he's the pro. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He really doesn't need to ask like his caddy, anyone who's caddying for him, what to do, because he knows what to do. It's more, he just like talking through things. I was more there of it, just like carrying his bag, talking to him when he wanted to talk, and then just more so like emotional support, like keep it rolling, bro. You got it. Like I said stuff like that, and then he would be like, basically like talk to me about like if he should do something or not do something, and he knew the answer. It was just more so me being like, yeah, like I think that's the right play. So it was reassurance.
So, well, do you have anything off that, Sajko?
No, dude, if you're feeling it, go ahead. Roll with it.
Okay.
What do you got next?
So kind of going off of that. Obviously, you were there all 4 rounds, I think. I don't know if you guys have been keying in on this, but he's been receiving a lot of hate because supposedly it's boring to watch him because of how good he is, which
sort of
is
seen that.
kind of an absurd thing to say. And I've seen it be like this historical run, you might call it, of Gannon Buhr's dominance right now has been compared to Paul Macbeth's run back, 10 years ago or so. And people look back on that run in wonder. And it feels like right now people are being kind of cynical about this Gannon Buhr dominance and saying it's boring to watch. From a front row perspective, how did you feel? Was it just like, okay, new hole, Gannon's gonna birdie, like, ugh, no one can catch him. Like, how did you feel being right there caddying for him?
So I'm a disc golf nerd, so to speak, where like I enjoy watching coverage a lot and watching these pros play, and I want to see the best disc golf I possibly can. I can understand how it might be boring to some people, but for me, I thought it was just crazy just to see like greatness. Honestly, it's just like seeing, like watching Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan or Tom Brady, where it's like that's kind of my mentality towards it. It's like it's crazy to see like just how good this man is, and how precise his shots were, because like I said, I'm kind of like a form nerd, a disc golf nerd, and just seeing like how many putts he hits, how he hits a putt on his knees and is like 100% from a knee putts and only missed 2 circle 1 putts, and how he scrambles and stuff like that. So I thought it was super entertaining to watch personally, but that's because I just enjoy watching disc golf in general, and on the side, and more so on the side of just like the analytical side. I enjoy. I don't really care about the closeness or like the playoffs or that stuff is great, but if it doesn't happen, I'm not like bummed, if that makes sense.
Does Gannon have the lightest bag on tour? I know watching previous in the bag videos, he prides himself on using few discs and manipulating angles himself rather than having a disc for every shot. As you know, no hate on Jake Wolf, but like he's someone that is notorious for carrying like 60 discs plus at all times with him.
Yeah, so that is true. I mean, he only had 2 putters in his putter pouch, and then everything else. I think he had 2 putters, 1 approach disc MD5. I think maybe 2 mid ranges. I think like 2 or 3 fairways, and then 3 or 4 drivers. And there might be. Well, there are a few that I'm missing, but this is stuff he has thrown. So, like, I don't think he really threw. He had a splice in there the final day he didn't throw. So, and then there's a notion. So, it's not a light bag. So it's not the lightest bag on tour. It's not light at all. I mean, you could probably see when I'm caddying, like kind of like hunched sometimes.
Yeah, it's all slouched
because like it's like kind of like it was hurting my back a little bit sometimes.
Yeah,
but that's something. Another thing why I found it so entertainment. I use it as a tool to, like, I'm here. I'm getting in the front of the seat. I'm gonna study how these pros actually play so great, and that's one thing I got from that is he knows this so well and only uses a few discs for every shot. Where it's like he's just so good with at disc golf that he doesn't need this many discs. He can use 1 disc for multiple shots. So that's something I learned and something I took away that like, yeah, I definitely need to start learning my disc better and start minimalizing my bag so I could just like learn the discs more and know exactly how they fly. Cause he's just like super precise. Like he would stack every night. He would stack his whole entire bag on top of each other perfectly to get out all the dents or warps so they don't warp, especially the base plastic. So you put the base plastic on the bottom and then everything else on top. So it would all be like symmetrical and stay in place and it wouldn't warp in his bag. And then he would always shake the bag to make sure that this don't warp. So he's super analytical in that sense too. So it was like,
dude, that's super interesting.
Yeah. So
does he like,
like
go as far to wash his discs?
He washed his discs Thursday night. He probably did every night. I wasn't there. But yeah, right. That's something he do. Wow. He's super particular about his discs because he wants them to fly the same. Because once he knows them so well, once they start getting a little too flippy, it's just like, or it's just like kind of like game over. He's got to find something new.
Well, I would imagine following something like that, you probably felt pretty inspired. You're like, I've never wanted to play disc golf more than I do this very moment.
Yeah.
So, like, were there any other takeaways or things that you learned that you're like, I'm going to start doing that? Or is it really just kind of minimizing your bag and just learning to manipulate discs and, like, really understanding, like, a few molds?
Yeah. I learned how little effort these top pros kind of throw. And
okay.
how precise, not little effort as in like their form's great and that's part of it, but it's like they intentionally don't throw as hard as they can to get the most precise shot where us as AMs sometimes we're like and like thwapping, especially me. So it was cool to see that every pro had just this like touchy, finessey power shots without making it look like they're going 100%. So that's something I definitely learned. And just like placement. Placement is huge, and obviously that's like a no-brainer. But just learning how like just he shapes certain shots and how he's the certain disc he's throwing. Like he's throwing this overstable FD3 on a few shots flat, and that's what's working for him. So just like it's hard. I wish you could kind of like read or see what I'm picturing in my brain and read my eyes, because it's hard to explain it. But yeah, I definitely took a lot away from it, and just how great of a putter. You can't take anything from the putting. Like I don't think there's putting something you can't really replicate. It's just like practice. I guess like putting form. I mean, like if you try and replicate his Gannon form, you're gonna be garbage. I'm sorry. Not driving form though. If you try and replicate Gannon's form, I think he is one of the purest forms on in disc golf. So just stuff like that. Just learn. Just
is that what won him the tournament? Putting? Is that what you say? Is that the difference?
I feel like it's a thrower's course though.
So obviously it is the difference, because if he missed like 10 putts, he wouldn't have the score. But he made some huge bangers. But yeah, I think it was the throwing that won him the tournament. It was like I can maybe think of like 2-3 times where he kicked off a tree and went to where he didn't want to be. Other than that, he executed...
Or off the basket.
Yeah, exactly. But he executed that shot perfectly. I'd argue that was a perfect execution of a shot. It just had bad luck. So... and
he still won by the margin he did.
Yeah, well, Ricky, I don't know if you saw it 18. Ricky threw a bomb, which was incredible. He got past that little tree on 18, and then he ran it for eagle and rolled OB and took like a double or something like that. I don't even know. So it wasn't as, the scorecard didn't really tell the full tale, because Ricky kind of was just like, he knew he lost. So he was just, and he pretty much had second place locked down. So he was just kind of like, he bombed it as far as he could. It was sick, and then he went for it to try and eagle it, and it just rolled.
Wait, so has Ricky won this year? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's won
multiple times.
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh,
right?
What? I'm tripping.
Yeah, dude, he's putting in that work.
Continue, Sajko.
So I'm going to be going up to Vermont shortly. Every year, my family and I go up to Vermont. We've been doing that for like the last 20 years of my life. And this year, my parents are like, we really want to go to Smuggler's Notch with you and follow along and maybe play a couple of holes. But the point that I'm getting
is this Kim?
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
dude, and
shout out
Papa
Kim.
Sack.
I don't know Papa Sack's name, but I know Kim. Kim just looks.
That's okay.
Let me just talk about Kim real quick. Kim just looks like the sickest mom ever. I mean,
Can confirm.
She's commented on her Instagram. I have looked at her profile, and she just looks. Right. What? I was not saying that's a weird thing.
I'm making it a weird thing on purpose to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, like she's commenting on Funsie. She's a huge fan a lot of times. And I've clicked on her profile.
A lot of times?
Yeah, a lot.
Sometimes she's not.
Anyways, Ben,
she's commented a lot.
Trying to gaslight you.
Shout out Kim. But yeah, I could just tell. Like I was like, bro.
Yeah, I'm very
she's
fortunate.
A rad mom.
I'm very fortunate to have supportive, cool parents. But they want to come along and play some holes. I know that you vocalized before that you really enjoy Brewster Ridge, but I would argue I think my parents would really enjoy how scenic Fox Run is. Having been on both this past weekend, what do you think would be more enjoyable for them to tag along? I mean, they're not going to be out there yeeting shots. I think it's just going to kind of be like follow along, maybe throw like a couple of holes. What do you think would be better?
I agree. Go Fox Run. Brewster Ridge is, me personally, better for playing disc golf. Fox Run is better for just, it's like a walk in a meadow. It's like just a casual.
Completely.
It's very, very beautiful. So
cool.
I'd say Fox Run.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know why. For some reason, Brewster in my head, I'm always like, yeah, that one's not as good. But watching coverage this past weekend, watching some Jomez, I was like, oh, wait, that's a good hole. That's a good hole. And they just kept stacking up over and over. I was like, wait, I am not giving this course any respect. Like, what am I doing? There's so many good holes there. No wonder why it ranks above Fox Run. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Yeah, super cool, man. I mean, you got to witness what is potentially a part of Gannon history. And then now it just continues. I mean, you got like Silas and Linus at your place?
Limpan. Yeah.
Okay. And just right into MVP open weekend. I mean, you were just straight. You were in your element right now. What I was trying to say earlier was,
I love it. It's the best time of year.
The thing that I admire most about Ben is he might be the best person at networking I've ever met in my life. And people that are good at that, like I'm just not. And I've talked about this before. But seeing it, like there doesn't have to be anything to talk about. He just is still in there and just making something to talk about. And every single time I'm impressed watching it. But yeah, like I said, you are just in your element right now.
Yeah, it's just my favorite. I mean, I love disc golf. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I work in disc golf and have expos. It's just because I love it. And it's like I don't even try to network, if that makes sense. It's not like
no, I know it doesn't a means to an end.
No, I'm not saying that as a bad. I'm just saying
I think you are, dude.
It's just like I don't know. It's just like I just talk to people. I don't even know. It's just like there might be a few times in my head where I'm like, oh, I really got to get to know this guy. Like it would be good for me, in my expo or something like that. But most times it's just like casually talking and having it something like come up like
right
where
networking is a very sterile term.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Like I got to meet at Fall Fest. I got to talk to Ricky's manager, and then eventually I talked to Ricky, and it was just like randomly occurring. But he was around a ton, and I wasn't like before that I wasn't like trying to be like, hey, like it was just like something that happened organically, which I think is just the best way in general to like just like have it happen. Obviously, if you're a business person and you have something to offer the person, that's different, because then like they might be super cool about the opportunity and be like, yeah, that'd be awesome. But like Justin, like I didn't like have anything to like, I guess, sell or anything. So it was just like the people that I've been meeting and talking to just happened naturally. Like Linus, like I didn't know Linus till a few days ago, and that's just because he's Silas' touring partner. So it's really cool how just disc golf in general in the community, it's just like so tight knit, and just how like these pros are so accessible and just like super cool people, and they're just like literally normal. Obviously, it's a little easier when I'm like hanging out with Silas and Gannon to like talk to these pros.
Right.
So I'm like, if you're just like a person that's kind of like a fan, it might be a little tougher to get in conversation, but it's just like it is super just cool just to like kind of see them in their natural element is what I'm trying to say. Where it's just like as a fan we see them as like ooh, but like when you're hanging out with other pros, it's just they're naturally themselves. They don't have to watch what they say, watch what they whatever. They don't have to like talk to anybody or say a certain thing. It's just it's like a really cool, I guess, side or aspect, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That I think is just really cool. The further I've gotten into disc golf, like yeah, just like some pros just came up to me and said what up, because they're my friend. And like 3 years ago I thought these guys were like, oh my, is that Nathan Robinson, or that's a random, is that Nathan? That's crazy. But now it's just like super cool, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I think it's just like that is the coolest thing about, one of the coolest things about just kind of like doing the things that I do is just like getting to know these people and just like talking to them. Like for example, Big Germ gave me a shout out on Jomez, which is like,
I saw,
the coolest thing ever. It's like the coolest thing ever. I'm very appreciative. Super sick. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I thought that was super cool. And that just happens naturally because he came to my expo and we just naturally became, and I went down to Charlotte and we just naturally became friends over the year. So it's just like really cool. Like kind of that side to it, just getting to know these people and getting, I guess, seeing them not as polished, if that makes any sense, where it's like just seeing them in their natural state. Golfer. Yeah, in their natural state. You know, it's really cool.
I appreciate Germ because not like I'm really interacting with pros, but of all the pros, he interacts with like the stuff that I put out the most, which is kind of cool because he'll just like say something where it'll be like a video game reference and he gets it, and I'm like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah,
He'll be like the only person that comments on that part of it.
Yeah,
so, yeah, kind of cool.
Exactly. And like the coolest thing ever. Like obviously Gannon's my friend, so like this is like the nerdy side of it, but it was just so unique and cool to see. Like after shooting 16 down, he's just, you want to go get some burgers, bro? Oh yeah, and we're just just like toying around, like just like hanging out, like everything. Like he didn't just shoot 16 down. Like he's just like that was another really like kind of zany thing. Or I don't even know if zany is, but cool thing to see where it's just like he like I sometimes I like ask him questions. I was like, bro, like how do you feel? Like I had to like just like make sure, like, you know, like does he realize what he just did? And it's just like, this is my job, bro. Like it's just what I do. It's like he knew he was gonna win. It was just like, okay, next, and then he was just chilling. And I thought that was another really cool thing I got to kind of experience, just being first hand with him before and after the rounds. That it was just like he was just like just normal Gannon, no matter what, even during the rounds and after. It was just like, yeah, like it's just what I do. So that was another cool thing.
Heck yeah, dude. So you're Expo man this weekend. You are Gannon Caddy this weekend. So you're set. And then you took those boys fishing, because like I saw that Linus was like staying with you or whatever, and I was like, how the heck? Because like Silas stayed last year, correct?
Yes, Silas stayed with me last year.
Dude, you should get him to do, like, you've been like, I just don't feel like editing. Have him edit your video and it just comes out like the most hype beast, like whatever, like over the top thing. Or not over the top, but just like for the style of content that it is.
Yeah, no.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, part of that is Silas planning, though. You know, like to get that amount of camera angles that he gets and transitions. So if he was working with Ben's content, I don't know if Ben had planned that far ahead.
Well,
so
speaking of content, I actually recorded a full video of me caddying for Gannon. So I'm like this is where I wish I had Jay Millie and Sajko editing skills. Because I'm not sure when that'll exactly come out. Like, because
dude, that's gonna come out soon.
I know. For clicks and views, that's gotta come out soon. But like, I just don't know if like it's, you know, it's to make it really good, like Jay Millie-esque with like everything where he pops up and talks in the mic, and there's like, it's just like it's gonna take a lot of effort and work, and that it's like what I'm saying is I want to do it right, and it might just take me a little bit longer than it would take y'all, because I think it was really cool. You know, there's behind the scenes, and then there's you know, me caddying, and I don't know, I'm gonna name it. I mean, let's brainstorm. I was gonna name it like. So the video is gonna continue though, since I'm caddying for him for MVP Open. I might either do 2 videos or just compile it into one. But I might name it just like I caddied for Gannon Buhr, or how to win.
I think you just
no, I'm just getting out.
No, I think I caddied for Gannon Buhr, and then it's just you standing behind him as he looks serious, and the sky's behind you guys.
Yeah, well, that was my idea for the thumbnail. Literally, just take like a screen grab from like when he's pulling out of my bag and just arrow me. So something like that. But yeah, I
would go infinitely hard.
Couple things. So I want to do it right, and I want to do it with you know, VO, as the cool kids say, because I think like
I don't think that's a thing. I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah,
VO.
Yeah.
Is it short for voiceover or what?
Yeah, short for voiceover. It's like abbreviation.
Dang.
You know,
I'm gonna steal that.
It's sick. So I want to make it pretty like good in that sense, because I studied your content, Jay Millie. I was studying just recently the other day. I was studying a few people's content and just like how they keep people engaged. Ryan Trahan. I mean, I that's who it was. It was you, Ryan Trahan, and like maybe just some other things. And I started to notice like voiceover is a huge component of it because it tells the story that you can't really you
Yeah,
can't
it's the story
sometimes
in your
can't
head. It's what
you
it's
can't
what you're thinking.
exactly you can't plan for. Two, it just makes everything more just like crisp and more entertaining.
Cohesive.
Yeah, cohesive. Yeah, that's exactly the word I'm trying to say. So I think I definitely need to start bringing that into my videos and start having more of kind of just like a poll to it, where like each video has its own unique, interesting thing. Because I recorded another video out there that's I don't really want to spoil, but I think it's gonna be a really cool idea that I did, and yeah, I just don't want to spoil it, but
If
yeah,
Ben could edit, he'd have as many videos as Bodanza. Because every time we hop on this podcast, I recorded 5 videos this week, and then I
Yeah, I
have never seen
know.
any of them.
I know I have such a
You just need to
backlog, dude.
get
It's
Your fiance is in
bad.
deep.
I don't think I've told you. I think maybe I said this, but I did. Oh yeah, I did with Andrew. But I have a beat Bodanza win $20 video that I
Yes.
that I spent like because some people did beat him that I spent money on, and I recorded it MVP Open last year, which was like beginning of September, and I still haven't edited it yet. I think in the future, if if it's justifiable, I'm just gonna have to either my fiance, she's got to learn, which she will, but or for the time being, maybe just like pay someone and hopefully I get return. Because I have a lot of good ideas, and I love making content. It's just I say this every episode. I feel like I just have too many other things going on where adding the content side to it would be like just wouldn't be. I mean, adding the editing side wouldn't be smart, honestly. In my opinion, it would just be too much. I'd have too much on my plate. I feel like a lot of people that are YouTube or content or creators and stuff like that, that's like their sole thing. Like Silas, for example, he edits every night, right behind me, and that's just like his passion, and it's just what he does, and he just plays disc golf and edits. Go ahead,
Ben. I think where you're getting hung up is the idea that you need to be like me or Ryan Trahan or Mr. Beast. And I don't think that's an incorrect thing to think because, we've found success in our respective areas.
Well, yeah, that's the most.
But
yeah.
I think what you should try to do is just put out the videos that you're putting out, or like do little edits. Like don't do the amount of edits that I do or Ryan Trahan does or whoever does. Literally just put the video together chronologically. Literally just throw everything into the timeline, rough cut it. That's going to take you 30 minutes realistically. And then if you want to add something on top of it, do it. If you don't, just post the dang video, because at that point you'd be putting out the content and you could see if it vibes with people. Like you could put out 20 videos and honestly, I bet at least 2 or 3 of them do well. Like you're just an entertaining fellow as himself. So I don't think you need all that other pizzazz. Like if you're not looking to make sure that every single video pops, do what Bodanza does and, throw 30 at a wall and 3 of them are going to stick.
Yeah. So
that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
I 100%, I 100% agree with you. And I don't want to be like, so like, I think you guys, the reason you are very successful because that's like right now, that's the formula for views. Like it's the most eye grabbing, it's just what it is. The only reason anyone like to get a lot of views would watch me is if I was like a really good pro. Like Gannon can just post a video just like poorly edited, and it would just naturally just because of so. Also,
well, then like explain someone like Foundation though. You know,
Yeah, look
like
at Trevor Staub.
they're not very good at disc golf, and like they don't put a lot of edits into their videos, yet they find some of the most success in disc golf. Like that's
yeah,
the niche that I see you finding a lot of success in, because people know you from Nick and Matt show or Staggered Stance. They know you from caddying for Gannon Buhr. They know you from Funsie. If you could put out a multitude of content where people are just attached to your personality, which, you know, you have a great personality, so people would do, you don't need the edits. Like that's the brand that I established because no one knew who I was. And that's the brand I want because I want that polished look. But if you don't want that, dude, like your personality is what people are truly attaching themselves to. So you don't need the best disc golf, the best edits, as long as people like who you are as a person. So
yeah.
that's why I'm like, dude, just post those videos, like bare bones. If it's like a good idea and you had fun doing it and you're like, you can see that you're enjoying it while you're doing the video, people are going to vibe with that. And that's my opinion, but I don't know. I think that would be where you'd find some success.
So I agree with you, but that's the thing. That's where I was going with this. I can't do bare bones. It's just like, it's like when I do edit everything, I'm like sticking on one single frame for like 10 minutes, or like putting text. Like, it's just like, I just can't, it's not like, not in incompetent wise. It's just like, I personally cannot just be like, oh, that's fine, whatever. It's like, I want it to be good, if that makes sense. So I can't just like I've been editing this thing. It's like kind of like a game type thing that is really good, and you know, I want it to be entertaining and perfect. And I don't want to do like the kind of like you said, Ryan Trahan and Mr. Beast and you, like, I don't think that's my style at all, or avenue, with all like the graphics and stuff like that. Like, I think the voiceover is fine, and I think it's needed in some ways, and I know that. It's just yeah, I don't know, I just have a lot on my
It sounds like you have a vision and you want to carry it out,
yes,
but you don't want to commit the
Sajko.
time to carrying it out.
Thank
And
you,
you don't want to
Sajko.
put out a product that you feel like is less than what you feel like you
Yeah,
could do.
and
So then it just sits there.
And I just need to get over that. I think it was the same with me in with music, where it was like, all right, we'll get a Silas Schultz interview real quick.
Oh, big
so
dog?
I think that was with me with like music too, where it's just like, I was like, oh, I need to record music today, and then I would record it, and then I would just get so mad at myself because it just wasn't any good, and then I would keep trying, and then I'd have to convince myself sometimes. I think I love making content. It's just sometimes like I just don't enjoy. Here's the thing. I enjoy making content when it's something I want to make. I don't enjoy the whole YouTube, like, oh, I gotta get something out. I gotta review this disc. Oh, I gotta go to a like I gotta I enjoy having an idea and just making it, and that's what I enjoy the most. And I know that's not the most advantageous and the most successful thing, and I understand that. It's just like
But it's the most important.
yes, I think at the end of the day, I just don't enjoy. I'd rather play 18 casually without a camera and taking like 4 hours of my time, adding like 2 hours extra on the course and having to change everything. Personally, I'd rather just play without it. And I think that's why I just enjoy other things more than that YouTube side. But I still love doing the YouTube side. It's just I just need to do it. I know I've just been saying the same thing, but like I just need to do it.
Yeah, that's essentially what I was gonna say. Is I think you just need to decide if YouTube's really what you want to commit to. You know, like right now it seems like you have your foot
it's
in
not
the door of expos and podcasts, and you know, you always say you're too busy for it. And I don't know. I personally think that some sort of arrangement where you have an editor
Yeah,
in a
editor
year
would
or something like
would
that
be.
would be
I
ideal.
think
But
that's the key.
honestly, like what you need to do to get to that point and to prove to yourself you can do it is commit to it
100%. Yeah.
and edit those videos and understand it's going to be a grind for a few months, for 6 months, for whatever amount of time. And then say, hey, this isn't for me, or hey, I'm making enough money. I can pay someone to do the editing, which is what I hate in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's just going to take some commitment. Like it's going to take some work on the front end. And that's kind of how I view my stuff right now. You know, like I'm working a 40-hour work week at my
Yeah.
regular job. And then on top of that,
Yep.
doing another 40 hours of content. And then also, you know, trying to play disc golf at a high level, hopefully. It's not easy, man. I don't have much time outside of that to have fun rounds or, you know, hang out with my friends as much as I like. But the goal is to set myself up so in a year or 2 years, I'm doing the thing that I love the most and making money doing it, you know, and it's just going to take me grinding right now to be able to do that. And I think it's the same thing for you.
Yeah, and I think, and that's a great point. I think the scale tips more for me wanting to get better at disc golf personally in playing than creating good content. I think that's the scale. I'd rather. It's more important to me to try and get better at disc golf, and I know creating content is, you know, it's a lot of work taken away from that aspect. And I think that's part of it, and I also think that's a big part of it. And I think the biggest part of it is, I think this is the biggest part, is I know I could be very successful at it. And I think that's what kind of like hurts me. I don't know if this is the right phrase, but is kind of like why I want to keep creating content, because I know I could do it, and I know I could be successful at it. And I enjoy it thoroughly, and I know it would be just an amazing thing. And it's just like that's the reason, like I'm just like have this inner struggle and inner dialogue where it's just like, I just know, but there's other things right now that I have that are more important. And maybe it's just letting that go, realizing like you have other priorities, man. Like create videos when you can. It's just like, I know if I put my all into it, I could, but I just can't, if that makes sense.
Not to make this a therapy session or anything, but
We usually
my
do.
opinion, yeah, Funsie therapy. My opinion in this situation is, like, from what it sounds like right now where you're at, you should just remove that from your brain. Like, I don't even think you should think about content, so you can focus on the other things, you know, like making the expo the best things that it can be, so you have 4 next year, you know, or just add one more, or they get bigger at bigger venues with more people. Focus on getting insane at disc golf, so you're doing expos and you're a pro, you know, like if it, and from what it sounds like, you know, content isn't enough of a drive. It feels like you think you should do it to drive other stuff. Then you shouldn't be doing it if you think you need to do it. You know, if you had that desire of like, I want to do this, which I think you do a little bit, but I don't think it's big enough for you to edit or want to edit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what's holding you back. So devote your full time and your full energy towards becoming the GOAT disc golfer, the GOAT expo guy,
And
the
that's what
GOAT
I'm doing.
podcaster.
And that's why my
you know,
YouTube lacks, and that's what I'm doing. I think,
well, I'm saying, like, don't even film videos. Like, that's still, you're giving part of your brain to that, and you need to give it all to everything else. Is what I'm saying.
Like, what would you want out of YouTube if you were to make these videos?
So,
like, what is your purpose in doing it? Because you enjoy it, or because you think that you could be good at doing it?
one, I enjoy. So, ideal scenario situation. I know this isn't how life works. So, ideal scenario, if I could just restart everything and like kind of just like and I had to choose, I would choose to be, and it would be something automatically, you know what I'm saying? If it was like, would you have 2 expos or whatever, or you know, be a content creator with like 500,000 subscribers. And you get it automatically. I would choose that YouTube if it got it automatically. It's just because, you know, I just enjoy playing disc golf. And I think that's such a cool, you know, Korean content. Playing disc golf is just Silas is like, no, it's just awesome. And I think like it would be just like really cool. However, life is a real thing where expos were the thing that presented its opportunity to me. With the content, I would have had to say, I would have had to grind to get to that point, and it's not even guaranteed, where the expos was the thing that was presented to me, and I would be an idiot not to do it and take it. So thank you, Silas. So that's really, I think, is kind of like this isn't saying that I hate doing the expos. I absolutely love doing the expos. Like, it's incredible. I'm just saying, if I could choose, if like a genie was like, all right, like I will give you whatever, or to before I started disc golf, like when I first started, I will give you'll be the head of 2 expos, or you'll be like a content creator in disc golf with, you know, whatever, many subscribers. I think I would do the YouTube side, just because it's just more enjoyable. But it was just the business side. It was the thing that I could actually do and actually, for my family, make a living off of right away, rather than maybe like, you know, grinding in disc golf videos for like 1 to 2 years, and maybe hopefully making some money off it. But it is something I do enjoy, and that's why I'm on these podcasts. And
Whoa,
that's why
what you got against that, dog?
What?
Yo, what the frick?
I said, what you got against that? What the
Against
frick,
what?
man? Get off our backs.
Against what?
Anyways.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
What do I have against what? I'm so confused. What did I say?
Okay, here's the deal, Ben. How about you? I don't know, like, what you are so sacred about in terms of like what you want to portray in your stuff, but I will be free tomorrow evening, and if you want to send me the Gannon Buhr thing and you trust me, I'm sure I could edit it in an evening. Is that something that you would be okay with? If you say no, you're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, I'd be very okay with it, but I also don't want it. Like, I don't want it. I think it'd be amazing, but I also don't want it to be like I don't want it to seem like it was a thing I was kind of like hinting at. Like, I'm saying, nudge, nudge, take notes, Sajko. Like I need help editing, bro. I know you're offering it. I know
you didn't
just
ask
give
me.
him. Just give him part of the revenue. You know, give him like 30% or something.
Or maybe I'll just pay you outright for that if it's gonna be done right. So yeah, maybe that might be that would make me feel more comfortable actually paying you to do that. And I know you're so busy, it wouldn't be like a now Sajko can do every other video of mine. But yeah, that would definitely. But I appreciate the offer, and you know, hopefully I can record more for MVP and it comes good. So then, yeah, maybe I'll send it over and we'll see how it does and stuff like that.
I would just the idea of that sitting there for so long. I'm sure people would still love it if it came out in the future, but
I think
that pains me.
That's the problem. So I appreciate that, and yeah, I would be willing to give you money for it. So yeah,
your deadline should be by next week. I think you should have that video out by next week.
Okay, after MVP,
Doable.
Let's do it. After MVP, Sajko, let's do it. Yeah. So I don't know.
Here's the new way you approach content, Ben. You tell me what you filmed, and then I give you a deadline, and you have to meet that deadline, or you're off of Funsie.
Yeah, that's a good.
Your own podcast.
Sometimes I need pressure like that. Sometimes I need, well, obviously for things that I enjoy doing, I don't. But what I was kind of finishing up is that's why I love doing podcasts, because I love creating content and I love doing this. I love talking to you guys, and this has been such like an awesome show that I'm sure people can relate to, even if it's just not content where it's just like, oh, like you want to do this other thing, but you have other things that you have that might be more important, and like, you know, stuff like that. But that's why, because it's just like, I really truly love enjoying content. I wouldn't be on here if I didn't. I wouldn't be creating videos. It's just podcasting content wise is just what we're seeing here. I record for an hour and it's out into the ether. I don't need to. That's why that's part of the reason I enjoy doing it. It's like, it's content that is just very easy to do.
Dude, you are Caddy by day, Joe Rogan by night. You're just podcast boy in the evening. So
do you guys want to go to sleep, or do you want to talk to Silas for about some stuff? It's up to you. He's in my
let's
bed
have him on
right
for
now.
like quick interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, come
Sajko,
on over
let's
for
do
a
it.
hot boy second.
Because he's a content creator, and yeah, Silas, come on.
Are you just gonna leave, Ben? Or
Yeah, hold on. Can you guys just talk and then for our listeners, and then I'll set it all up.
hello, listeners. We will be shortly having on Silas Schultz.
Yeah, you may know him. No one has ever made this joke before as Barry Schultz's son, which people say all the time. It is.
I haven't heard that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know how. That's hilarious. But for those unknowledged in Silas lore, he's a disc golfer. He's a part of the younger generation of disc golfers, not in that Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki generation.
A whippersnapper, if you will.
And he makes content as well. Very great edits, as been mentioned earlier in the show. And it's very impressive.
Yeah, he is held
to add?
to a pinnacle standard within the disc golf community. Every single time something drops, people are like just all about it. And for good reason. It's not like it's unwarranted.
Yeah, and you don't want to start beef with him because he will absolutely wreck you.
He will go utterly stupu-dupu mode on your butt.
He'll go nuclear.
Nuclear. Oh, we held it down.
Can you see me? Oh, there I am.
Oh,
Here,
for
scoot over,
sure,
so I
dude.
can get in here.
Oh, dang, you got 2 mics? That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I got a whole setup.
He's a producer, bro. He's a singer-songwriter.
It's real.
All right. So
Can y'all hear me?
Oh,
Yes,
for
we can
sure.
hear you.
Oh, let's go.
I don't know if this is gonna be fine because we're recording on 2 mics, so hopefully there's not any echo and stuff like that. So just bear with us, but I think it should be good.
Well, I guess if in worst case scenario, we could have just ended the show before he came on, you know,
that's true.
if it didn't work.
No,
and then
well,
have
I
him
can-
on
so-
a different time.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We should be good. Go ahead. Talk to Sidearm or Side. I'll mute my mic whenever he's talking.
Word. Okay, Silas, I first have a question.
Yeah.
So I was out at Worlds this year, and
Yeah.
I was at the Ledgestone tent. I don't know if you will recall this. And while in there, you came up to me and you're like, yo, how much are these discs? And I was like, what? I was like, I'm just wearing all another round stuff because I'm like, I'm working with them. And I was like, is he like, I walked away. I was like, is he messing with me? I'm like, what? I was like,
That 100% happened. Yeah, it did.
Dude, yeah, because like I met up with these, or we had the podcast like right after that, and I was like, do you think that was like a joke, or like he was seriously asking about Ledgestone discs? I'm like, this is the weirdest experience I had at all of Worlds.
That's so funny. No, it wasn't a joke. No, I thought you worked there.
It's amazing.
Wait, why would you be asking about?
Why are you so?
Yeah, no.
Why would you be
honestly,
asking about Ledgestone discs? That's a discraft.
Yeah,
okay,
bro.
it wasn't the Ledgestone tent. It was the World's Pro Shop.
Oh, okay.
Where you got
all
this?
I was in search of this hat. This very hat that I
dude.
just so
yeah,
happened
those were
to be
clean.
wearing. And when I got there was no hats. Yes.
Yo,
so
what
far.
the heck? You have a man on the inside, Jay Millie. This is unreal.
Yeah, that is crazy, actually. How did you get that?
Wait, what was it?
I was there. I won Worlds. They gave it to me as
Congratulations.
part of my prize pack.
Cool.
I actually,
No,
yeah,
I
they
had
were
someone
sold
there
out. I
who
had a
got
man
me
on the
one.
inside give me this and hook me up with the hoodie as well. So, nope, that wasn't really a joke. But also, like, if you would have asked me, like, where do I work? I would have been like, oh, I think another round. And then you could have been like, so why are you asking me this? And I'd have been like, oh, I don't know.
Dude, the moment that I recalled that you were staying at Ben's, I was like, I hope this man comes on the podcast tonight so I can ask him this. To just like, yeah, so really,
That's
truly
so
made my night.
It's like when you walk up to someone in Target and you're like, excuse me, do you know where the, I don't know, like, what would I get?
Free donuts.
I get like dairy-free chocolate milk.
Oh, there you go.
Lactose-free, not dairy-free, lactose-free chocolate milk, and
Come
they're just
on
like
now.
wearing a red shirt, like or not, you're literally just wearing khakis, and you just assume they work there. That's exactly what it was. So that's on me.
Dude,
That's on me. I
dude.
apologize
Same
for that.
vibes.
I should have known better.
Sidetrack. Have you ever had someone come up to you and be like, hey, do you know how to get to like so and so? And you have no idea. So you just pull out your phone and look it up on Google
yeah.
Maps and you're like showing them. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could have done this too. But
What was your response? I think you just said like, I don't work here, and I was like, oh, bet. And walked
straight
away.
up.
I think
Yeah,
that
I was
it.
like, I don't work here. And you were like, oh, okay, sorry.
And then I was
that
like,
was
oh,
it.
that was embarrassing.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
I
so
kinda,
it was so
tried to
dry.
move
I
on.
was like, what?
That's
Anyways,
so funny. Yeah,
that's
on me.
not why. I'm sure people want to know about much more than just that one experience because you are
Hilarious.
the content daddy, if you will.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure I will, but I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, I had a question. So,
Okay.
as a pro disc golfer who's playing on the pro circuit
Yeah.
on all the big events or most of them, and making content, what does a week in the life look like? How often are you getting out there and practicing disc golf, and how often are you in the editing room, getting it done?
That's a good question. I'm always out there practicing the disc golf. That's kind of how it is. Like I love editing. That's like it's one of my favorite things to do. People ask me like, "Oh, what do you do while you're on tour?" And like for fun when you're not playing. And I'm like, I'm editing. And not because I have to, it's just like what I want to do.
That's what. Well, can you hear me? Can
You can just talk
yeah,
into my mic
sorry.
if you want.
No, it's fine.
Hello? Hello?
So that's what I was saying. Like every night, Silas is just playing disc golf and then editing. So
I just edit.
it's just what he does, and it's cool that you enjoy that, man. I envy you.
Yeah, so usually like I'll say like maybe not like a typical day in the life, but this is like for Worlds. I'm not sure you guys saw my like Worlds reel, but it's insane. It might be my
Oh, we saw it.
It's insane.
it might be my like Mona Lisa. I don't know. It's so good. But I had so much footage, and so what I did was I would like, because I was in that B pool, boy. B pool's goated. Let me
Hey.
first off give a B pool side tangent. I was embarrassed that I was in the B pool. Number one, I like just crapped my rating so hard at a couple A tiers and stuff, and I went to 1009, and the cutoff was 1010. So I'm in the B pool. I'm like, oh, whatever. We'll make the best of it. First of all, I'm taking my rating before Worlds every year. B pool is insane. Okay, my first round tee time, I'm at 245. That's third card out. I mean, like, or third to last card. So 245 tee time, goated. So what do? I wake up, I go to a coffee shop, I edit for like 2 or 3 hours. I read my Bible and I drink a coffee. I go and I get a Firehouse sub, and I get to the course with like an hour to spare. I've already just like got a nice section of edit done, and I'm chilling, Next, I shoot bad. She like 1 down or even or something at Ivy. No worries, 2:15 tee time the next day because you're in the B pool. So literally got to do that whole thing again. And then I actually, unfortunately, graduated from the B pool. And then I had to go to the A pool. Lame. Because B pool, no spectators, number one. No cameras. No expectations. no, if you 2 off the first, no worries. In the bullseye, pick it up. You know what I mean? It's literally it's whatever you. It was
Inside
I played
the circle,
with guys in
pick
cotton
up.
shirts both rounds. It's coded. And then I get to A pool. Everyone's got ego and they're all locked in, warming up. They're
Oh,
sad. They're
dude.
not teeing off later. I'm like, what is this, bro? Lame sauce. Anyway, but yeah. So like a lot of it is I'll wake up. Like I'm trying to think about what I was gonna do tomorrow. I want to get a lot of practice in, so I probably won't edit in the morning. But usually it'll be like wake up, go to a coffee shop, do a bunch of editing, and then go play. And then if that works during the tournament with my tee times, that's like my favorite way to start the day. I'll go up, wake up, go to a coffee shop, put a bunch of work in on an edit, and then go play.
Are
Dude, I
you
love it.
yeah, that sounds ideal.
Yeah, it's
If I was
the
ever
best.
on tour, that's how I'd do it. Are you seeing money from your edits, or is it more of a brand thing right now?
Technically, I guess I am monetized on Instagram. So then they have like a dollar amount that they're supposed to that I've earned, but I haven't been paid yet. And I don't really. It just says it's gonna pay me, but I don't know when it's so weird.
So
Um,
how are you monetized on Instagram? I'm not monetized on Instagram. How
you
does
just
that
gotta get
even happen?
monetized. I don't know. It's like it's so weird. Everything I've researched about it is like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
And
I
then like
can't- I
they
can't figure it
select
out.
people to be monetized.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
I was selected for monetization.
Oh.
And then like now like but like I don't know how to get paid. So it's kind of like yeah. But at this point, yeah, it's more of a brand thing, and it's also like I said, like it's something I just love to do. And
Yeah, for sure.
I can like I was looking back at my edits from like a year ago, less than a year ago, and I'm like, these are garbage, you know, even though they're fire and I like them, but like the stuff I'm doing right now is like way more technical, way more fun, and I still feel like I don't really even know what I'm doing. So yeah, it's more of a brand thing though, and like you said earlier, like I am kind of held to a standard right now, which is what I want. That's what I've created. That's what I like, and so like I have things I do so that people feel like, I mean, they know they're watching a Silas Schultz edit. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna sound different. I'm not gonna use a trendy little audio. You know, I'm gonna have some color grading on it.
1, 2, 3 plus
Okay.
me monkeys in the barrel.
that's a throwback edit that I don't like, but everyone loves from Texas State's like 2 years ago. If you guys want to go find that, but yeah, I wanted to, you know, it's like its own thing, and also I kind of heard a little bit of what you guys were talking about before, but the way I view content of like how I put it out now is like I just make stuff I want to make. Like there's some stuff that I have to make. Like I have an affiliate code with Grip, so I make money off of Grip bags sold using my code, which is Silas free ship at the moment. So if you want free
Hit
shipping,
him
you
with
can use
it.
that, and you can get.
Why not just Silas?
I don't know. It's actually confusing because sometimes they do like they'll change the codes per quarter, so you can't
Oh,
promote
that's
like
weird.
one code for the year. But like
What the
I've
heck?
I've seen legitimate income come from promoting a code.
Yeah,
So then it's like
yeah,
I should make videos about my grip bag, which Funsie's exclusive. I filmed this video of me with a grip bag on top of a helicopter pad in Lynchburg, and so that's gonna come out kind of, I don't know, within the next like week or two. And it's
Ooh.
so cool, and so then that's like something to promote, like the travel bag that they wanted me to promote. So, but like yeah, for the most part, I just make stuff I want to make, and I have no deadlines. Like I just dropped a video today
Yeah,
that I
totally.
filmed at Worlds, you know, after Worlds. Just like random, yeah, bro. The pizza box transition,
Yes, sir.
yeah, that thing went crazy. Originally I had it so I was pulling the box open and it was like text appeared kind of behind the box, and then I was like, I showed it to Linus, and he was like, didn't you say you were going to have it so that you went through the pizza box? And I was like, oh, yeah, I did say that. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that. And then I figured it out. I just like green screen. I masked a green screen into the inside of the box, and then I just overlaid it.
What do you edit in?
I use Final Cut. which
Not a Da Vinci boy.
not a Da Vinci boy, not a Premiere guy, which people
Premiere
just
washed.
assume. I'm just so scared of Premiere. It freaks me out. Like
Yeah,
I said, like
Premiere's scary.
I don't really know what I'm doing, and so then like I kind of know what I'm doing over here. If I go to Premiere and everything is just blue and pink lines or whatever, purple line, I got nothing for that. So I should learn it. If I'm, like the reason I graduated from iMovie because like people offered to pay me for stuff, edits, and I was like, I can't just edit in iMovie even though it looks so good. And so then I graduated to Final Cut. So yeah, but like I have no deadlines. I make whatever I want to make, and I only produce what I want to make, and I think it's just like it's more fun that way, and I'm doing it for brand stuff, but also just because I really enjoy it. So
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I think that's the way to approach it for sure. I was wondering as well. I just have all the questions. What is do you just go out and get shots, or do you have like a shot list that you want for a specific edit? Like, do you have a song in mind before you go out and you shoot, or is it just like, I'm gonna play a practice round? Oh, this would look sick. Oh, I got a transition here. Like what is a typical little shot list look like for you?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And the answer is none of it ever looks the same. I have no rules. I sometimes like some of my edits, some fire edits I've made have been like, oh, let me just film this shot real quick while I'm playing this solo practice round so that I can like just put it on my story. And then I'll put it all on my story after the round. But then I just start getting crazy shots and I'm like, oh, this is way better than a story. I should make this into a reel. And so then I had no shot list except for just like cool angles. And I'm mad at myself the whole edit because I'm like, if I was just shooting for an intentional reel, this would be fine. I could get all these extra shots I want. So then that's how it goes sometimes. For the World's edit, I collabed with this dude Bradley. His last name is Meja, something like that. You can follow him on Instagram. It's like MEJA Media. But he's so dope, and I almost used that song Golf Course Meetings before on a different edit, and then we were at a golf course. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. But we didn't really have a shot list except for the first shot where the drone flies in and goes through the golf cart. Other than that, it's just kind of whatever. So I don't have a shot list, but I have I think I just really try to trust myself in my instincts and my eye. And I try to document disc golf in a way where you feel like you're there. And so I think it's really easy to make a disc golf edit, especially a reel, that's just throwing. But if you went and played around a disc golf, your throwing is like 10% maybe of the hours that you're out there. So that's not really giving you the whole experience. So I'll do throwing, walking, drawing off a disc. I always it's starting to become a trademark of me drinking water in my edits. So it's all of these things that I'm doing that's not throwing, also putting, also grabbing my discs out of the basket, also me walking to the basket, things like that. Or literally just scenic shots of just not me at all, just the course. I try to just really gather all of those as I'm going. And then when I go to edit, usually I'll do it in order of shots taken, usually. It'll be in so I'm kind of trying to just tell you the story or show you the story of how that round went. But less how it went, more how it felt. So if I did something and it doesn't fit with the vibe, then the vibe's gone. And we're just trying to give you the vibe of what happened. So usually not a shot list. Usually, are you eating Cane's right now? That's what I'm talking about. Dude, I saw that finger. I saw that chicken finger, and I was like, that looks like a Cane's chicken finger. But then I was like, the cup's blue. And then I saw, oh, dude, here's what you got to do. You ever bobbed the toast before?
Bobbed the toast?
Yeah, boy. This is so ADHD of me because I was literally talking about something else. But no, if you go to Cane's, right? This is my Cane's order. I get a box combo, no coleslaw, extra toast, butter on both sides of the toast with a lemonade and an extra sauce usually. So you get butter on both sides and it's juicy and then you break down the middle of the toast, and then you put the canes, you put the fries and a finger inside, and then you dip that thing in the sauce, and you have a Cane's taco. I don't always do that. That's mostly special occasions. And then sometimes I do put the hot sauce. You can ask for some hot sauce. You put that in the sauce. You mix that up. That's pretty good. So those are my Cane's
fire.
hacks.
Dude, you are
I'll have to
passionate
try
about
it.
this.
Yeah, bro.
I used to work at Dairy Queen when I was in college, and someone came through the drive-thru at one point and was like, "Yo, could I just straight up get toast?" I was like, I guess. So this person paid $3 for 2 slices of toast. So they
Dude.
went to the drive-thru for toast.
That's
which is-
brutal. I
that's
don't know what
amazing.
kind of vibe they were feeling, what kind of mood they were in to get just the toast. But no, yeah, I don't. That's one of my biggest things I hate on is just toast from places like Dairy Queen. I'm literally paying $3 for a slice of bread. Like it does not feel. I feel like it should not get cheaper than a slice of it. Now Cane's, that toast is different, very built different. But when I get other toasts like that, it just makes me mad.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Are there things that you haven't tried yet in your edits or anything that you, or maybe you're like, oh, I want to do it, but like I can't really find a good reason to do it yet, or like maybe you're kind of skeptical about doing it?
Yeah, that is such a good question. Let me think. I mean, I'm in a tricky spot with the content that I have, right? So some of it is just like a lot of it, I guess, is me filming. And a lot of it while I'm on tour is like me filming myself. Like I'm making these like like I make these little like tournament recap posts kind of, but it's just like a practice round vibe. And those are really fun and I really like making them. And I just think like one of my rules, this is my number one rule for content. Don't do anything that anyone else does in disc golf ever. And so when everyone makes their tournament recap post using the same picture from the same angle that 12 other people post on Monday. Now listen. This is not, I don't hate on pro disc golfer content. It's bad sometimes, right? But these guys are not influencers. They don't claim to be influencers. But because they have influence, people are like, their content should be better and everyone's just the same and it all sucks. And it's like, well, yeah, they're athletes and they play disc golf for a living and they don't have money for a media manager, or the ones that do, they don't pay a media manager. They don't have people out there doing this stuff. So if you're not inclined that way, let's not hate on that, right? But I want my stuff to not look like that stuff. And so, round one of a pro tour, I don't know if people know this. It's not even like a secret, but round one of a pro tour, there's a photographer, Kevin Hoover, who's incredible. He takes a photo of every single person who plays that round, right? And then if you play good enough, right, say top 4 cards or whatever, you'll get your picture taken the next day. And then if you play good enough, he's kind of just taking pictures of everyone who plays well after that. But the first day, everyone gets their picture taken. So let's say half of the people in the field, they don't play good, right? I mean, that's just how it works. The bottom half of the field, they don't play good. They only got their picture taken on hole 1. Kevin sits in the same spot the whole time, right? And he takes the same picture from the same angle, right, of every person. So I'm like, oh, I haven't posted a picture or pictures on my feed in a while. Maybe I should post a picture. I opened Instagram today or yesterday, and it's just all these people's pictures from the same angle. And I'm like, well, I like my picture, but I'm not going to post it because everyone else posted it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just a little thing. But yeah, I don't do anything that anyone else has done. So I'm in a tricky spot though, because if some of it is just me making it, some of this stuff is like very talented video guys who are like, let's link, and I'm like, let's go, and we'll shoot something, and I'll edit it. So I don't know, like there's stuff that I would want to do, like I just want to do stuff that's so different. Like I want to do stop motion stuff. I want to do like claymation stuff. I want to do like, and I've dabbled in some of these things, but that's just stuff like some of it is just out of my understanding at this point. But like I don't like my whole feed on Instagram. Some of it's just like really stupid memes, and some of it is like it's just like Nike commercial edits, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And that's the stuff that like I'm like, I love this, and my edits aren't close to this. And so then I'm like, my edits aren't really that good because all I'm watching is just like the best of the best stuff. So I want to get to the point of like some of that stuff being there, but some of it I just don't know how to do. But as far as stuff like techniques or things that I haven't done, it kind of just, I don't know. It just comes in, and if I can fit it in an edit, I'll do it. And if I can figure out how to do it. So it kind of comes and goes. But I would say like stop motion stuff is stuff that I've done and would like to do more of that I feel like disc golf just doesn't have.
Dude, completely.
Yeah, that was the longest answer for stop motion stuff.
Dude, that's perfect for a podcast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, you talking about your algorithm. Dude, my algorithm is cooked. It is so stupid right now.
Yeah.
Dude, what do I mean, you mentioned Nike. Is that like a big one that you're inspired by, or is it just really just whatever that comes across and you're like, that's cool, I want to try that one specific thing?
Yeah, I think sometimes like I have a folder on Instagram that I save all cool edits that I see or just inspiration for stuff. And a lot of that is like, yeah, like really cool Nike edits or like some like travel vlog edits. I would say my biggest inspiration ever came from Casey Neistat. I love that dude. Like he's my uncle or something. I've like probably a person who I've never met and will probably never meet, but I probably care the most about him. You know what I mean? I'm like,
do
that,
what
like,
you can't, man.
Yeah,
Do what
dude.
you can't.
He's so inspiring. I mean, yeah, he like filmed so many vlogs that he ruined his marriage, which I wouldn't recommend. But then they fixed it; they're good. But yeah, so like, I think he's my biggest inspiration. When I was just getting into doing videos, I started doing videos in 2020. Whenever COVID hit and Discmania wanted us to make disc reviews, and then I kind of dabbled in just making videos. And then first day of 2021, January 1st. I got a tournament the next day. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great year. You know what I mean? 2020 sucked. 2022 is my year. And I rolled the living daylights out of my ankle. I thought it was broken. It was just like severely sprained. I couldn't like walk for like weeks. And I just sat in my bed watching every Casey Neistat vlog ever made. And so after that, I was just so pumped and ready to like make stuff. And so he's like just, I love how authentic he is. I love how just like creative his ideas and his shots are. And so he's like my biggest inspiration guy. But yeah, I would say I would take a lot of like inspiration from like Nike stuff or just like some of those really technical, fast-paced edits that are kind of popping right now. So yeah, I would say those guys.
Let's go. What do you think is missing in disc golf content right now? Because you were saying, and like, you know, it's not other people's fault. Like you said, they're athletes, but a lot of it does feel pretty samey, and it kind of trickles down to, you know, your local pro where it's like, okay, this is what they do. This is what I have to do for content.
Yeah. What's
Ben
missing?
Kinney's what's missing.
Yeah, exactly. We need that
more
Gannon Buhr
Ben
edit.
Kenny music. Wavy like the ocean. Okay. We need more Ben Kenny YouTube. I would say on YouTube, we need like people would lose their minds, and I've done this a little bit. I want to do more of this, but I just don't have time. Or I need like a cameraman. Collab in the future.
It's like,
I
know
think
a
like
guy.
a Casey Neistat lifestyle vlog of a professional disc golfer, even if that was posted later, because the problem is, right, like if I wanted to post a vlog about, what was our last tournament? GMC. I would kind of have to get that out before MVP, or it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just feels like it would be hard to, you know, like, I don't know. Or just, I don't know. It's kind of soon, you know? You don't want it to be like if I just now posted a vlog from Worlds or D-Glow. Who even won D-Glow? Probably Gannon. I don't know. You know? He did. So it's like, it's so, disc golf's so fast-paced that, like, you kind of have to get him out. So, but I think that would be so cool.
I feel like it depends on what you focus on in the content. Like
That's
if you're centered around like the actual play of the tournament and maybe who won, then yeah, definitely need to get it out week of. But if that's, a minute in a 10-minute video or an 8-minute video, then it doesn't quite matter as much. If it's more like you said, lifestyle, and you're like, I'm going to practice, I'm going to fix this in my form, or I'm going to spend X amount of time on this edit, or just whatever's going on in your life. And then, here's 2 minutes of what happened in the tournament. Then I think people would definitely, honestly, in my opinion, I think you could probably post it 3 weeks later. And if it talks about the tournament the whole time, I think people would still be very thrilled. But yeah, maybe in that case, it'd be better to be around the same time. But if you're spending all the time on the lifestyle and not really as much time on the tournament, I think you could easily get away with posting it forever after, and people would be like, this is hype. I love this.
Yeah, that's true. It's probably the reason I say it has to be quick is because I don't think I can make it quick, and I really want to make it, but I try to tell myself I don't have time because I'm scared of editing YouTube videos, and so that's probably more the reason. But also, like, that stuff is so hard to film yourself. Like it's a lot to like set up your camera for that much, and like talk to for a week. You know what I mean? I'll do it for a day, but I don't want to do it for a week. But yeah, I think like what all content like needs and aims for, and I think the content that is really beloved by people is the content that you feel like you're getting an inside look on, like behind the ropes of stuff that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise. You know what I mean? Like we want to see Jomez because like we want to see who wins, but we like Alden's vlog because we get to see what it's like to hang out with Alden and Gannon when we're not going to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Except for us, obviously, right? We get to hang out with them all the time.
It's so cool.
But I think like that's what good content is what it makes people feel like they were a part of something that they're not really able to. I think that should kind of be the goal of social media. I'm getting pretty introspective and deep right now, but like it's to kind of like give someone a picture of like the behind the scenes of someone's like life, you know what I mean? Which is like becoming like, I love Casey Neistat like a dear friend, because I feel like I've spent so much time with him, which I haven't really, but I've watched hours of his videos. So I think, like a really cool lifestyle vlog of a pro disc golfer, like that stuff I think would be super sick because it's a very unique lifestyle.
Yeah, completely. Josh, do you have anything else, or should we let this man go?
I have more questions, but I think we should save them for another episode where we have him back on.
A Chaw? Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, we should get a full, because this podcast, we love talking about content, and Silas Schultz is a content guru as well.
Yeah, he's up there.
Dude, that's what I feel like. It kind of bums me out. You don't make YouTube longs. I guess that's what they're called. Because I feel like you would dominate that space too. So
I'm just
what it is.
I'm just scared of them. And then like people,
they're scary.
Yeah, but let me just say this: there was a second there was all these YouTubers, and I didn't know who any of them were. And then I went and I checked out a couple because they were all over my feed. Jay Millie is my favorite, dude. I'm just gonna say it, dude. Jay Millie has my favorite, and I don't really watch YouTube like that much. But if I'm gonna turn on one of like a random disc golf YouTube video, I'm invested in the Jay Millie. And he got me with the edits, dude. I really like the edits, and I like how when the words pop up, there's a clicking sound with them, And I like how it's all just an iPhone. You could tell all the footage is so iPhone, and it's a vibe. Like iPhone is a vibe. I used to put filters on all my stories, and then I was like, people just want iPhone. What is this, dude?
I'm working on it.
No, but I do. Yeah, Jay Millie. That's my number one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The hype was unwarranted, but it means a lot. Thank you.
I love hyping up the boys on the cast. We all hype each other up.
For sure.
All right. Well, Silas, you want to outro us?
Yeah. What do I say? Just like thanks
Just
everyone for
outro us,
watching.
yeah.
All right, guys. It's been a wonderful night of funsies with the boys. I'm Silas Schultz. This is my favorite hoodie, and this might be my favorite hat at the moment. I'm here with Ben Kenny in his room. I'm sleeping in his bed this week for the MVP Open. It's going to be an awesome week out. He's not sleeping in the bed with me. It's just me solo.
Hypothetically.
All right. Well, you answered it.
Everyone got a little too excited there. It's going to be an awesome week. Predictions on who's going to win. I don't know. Probably me.
Standing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and thank you all for watching, and we'll just have a very funsies time on the course next time you go out and play.
Yes. Thank you for
Yup.
watching, y'all. This was a
Or listening.
unexpectedly great podcast.
What?
No, because we started filming at 9:30. We were just gonna do like a quick. We didn't even talk about MVP, which honestly,
Don't need to.
yeah, don't need to. I think it's cool.
Go listen to
So-
every
there
other
you
disc golf
go.
podcast for your MVP information.
And that's
Exactly.
why we love Funsie, because sometimes we talk about it, sometimes we don't. Anyways, all right, 3, 2, 1, Funsie.
I'll hit him with the Funsie.
Bye.